Crawford, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a tough act to follow, Mr. Scott. Appreciate that. I represent a part of the country, the Delta region, probably better than half of my district. And as you can imagine, we're confronted with a high degree of poverty. So many of my constituents are heavily dependent on SNAP benefits. And the problem they confront is that over the years we've seen a decline in the number of supermarkets. So what we're dealing with ultimately here, ironically, is one of the most productive agricultural regions in the country is effectively a food desert. We have limited access to healthy food, so we rely on convenience stores and things like that. So if we're to restrict SNAP purchases to healthier food products, my question is, would the compliance costs outweigh the benefits of accepting SNAP benefits at retail locations, or would it encourage SNAP retailers to offer a wider variety of healthy food products? And I'll just leave that to any or all that want to make a comment on that.
I think it depends, frankly, on how any changes to the program were structured. Obviously, retailers want very much to be in areas where they can meet customer needs. And if the customer base is there and they can profitably and successfully meet the needs locally, they will and they want to. I think the kinds of proposals that we're talking about here will definitely have an impact on how these companies can function. The potential increase in the administrative costs for a program that limits certain products, whatever they are, whatever kind of products we're talking about, is going to be oppressive, as I indicated in my testimony, given the sheer volume of products that are available in supermarkets today and the number of new products that are introduced every year. The creation of a structure to monitor that and determine which products are in and which ones are out are going to necessarily create pressure on the system and also create pressure at the retail level for stores that are in existence, for stores that are being contemplated to be created. And the result could be that stores can't function profitably any longer in some areas. It could also be that some stores will have to determine that the administrative costs are so great that they would have to leave the SNAP program entirely.
Thank you. I would echo that I would be particularly concerned that these increased regulatory burdens would drive out some of the smaller retailers in especially rural areas. The other thing I would like to add is that, as an economist, I think all of this comes down to supply and demand. And I've heard a lot of conversation about how do we increase the demand for healthy foods, whether that's through education, whether that's through pricing incentives. And I think that, if people demand more healthy foods in those areas, those grocery stores are going to respond by supplying more of them. So that's why I'd like to see the market work in this and not restrict.
And I would just agree with you of the need for more grocery stores in the Delta. We're working with the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation and Hope Enterprises located in Jackson, Mississippi, to incentivize more grocery stores to come to the Delta region. I also think the USDA, or through the Farm Bill, the Healthy Food Financing Initiative offers real opportunities to bring more grocery stores to the region.
Thanks. Dr. Rashidi, you want to weigh in on that?
Sure, and just real quickly, I think if you placed restrictions on a very, very narrowly defined product, such as sweetened beverages, it would not be overly burdensome for retailers. And I agree that it's really a supply and demand issue. So if you did a restriction on sweetened beverages, for example, which drove up demand for healthier products, because that's all people could use their SNAP benefits for, you would hope that the retailers would then respond by providing more healthy options.
Can I get in on that? And just respectfully, we think based on economic theory that that's not what will happen. This restriction, because so many people are using both SNAP benefits and their own cash, won't actually change behavior.
And if I could also respond to that, I think we end up on a slippery slope when we start talking about sweet beverages, because I don't know what that means, and I think, like most things, the devil's in the details, because when we start talking about sweetened beverages, I don't know what exactly we're talking about. There are juices that bring lots of nutrition that are sweetened beverages. There are yogurt drinks that bring all kinds of nutrients to the consumers of them that also have sugar in them. So I think we need to be careful about how we're discussing these, because we're talking about a category of products as if we all understand what that means.